What's up, y'all? Happy Friday. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I am CJ, and we are just going to talk about some quick news that is happening in the celebrity world, or just, I guess, around the U.S. in general. Nothing in particular that was just like breaking news or anything. These were just like a few of the headlines that were in the gossip columns or blogs or whatever. But before we talk about any of that, y'all make sure that you go ahead and thumbs up this video. And if this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome. We talk about some of any and everything here, mostly reality TV, but we do talk about other things every here and there. And while you're here, go ahead and make sure that you tap that subscribe button so that you can join the family. Also, share my videos, tell a friend to tell a friend, and y'all already know, so we can all be friends. But we'll start this video out with a little bit of R.I.P. news. And I'm sure by now everybody has heard about the passing of actor Michael K. Williams. If you didn't know him by his formal name, you definitely knew him by Omar from The Wire. That's what I referred to him as. It didn't matter what role he was in. I'm like, that's Omar, just because he was such a good character in that series. He was definitely one of my favorites. It was like one of the first, because I didn't watch a whole lot of like Oz and the other TV shows that showed gay, relationships or whatnot. So The Wire was actually one of the very first TV shows that I actually saw, male on male action. And he was well known throughout Hollywood. I understand he was a choreographer. He was in other things. I also recall him being in Lovecraft Country. He was the dad in that. And he was also on Boardwalk Empire. From what I understand, his death was drug related. These drugs are taking out a lot of people, not only actors and actresses, but they're taking out, our family members, our friends, and we'll talk a little more about those drugs here in a second. But definitely prayers go up to his family, his loved ones. You see his picture all over the internet now. People showing love, people paying their respects. Nobody had a bad thing to say about him except for 50 Cent, but he don't really count. But anyway, prayers definitely are up to Michael K. Williams' family. Now, in drug news, I do want to talk about fentanyl. Now, everybody has heard about fentanyl. Fentanyl is a drug that apparently people have gotten a hold of, and they are lacing street drugs with this medical drug, and they're not doing it right. They out here pulling a Canaan, mixing stuff, and don't know what they're doing and selling these things to people, and people are dropping like flies. From what I read, they're saying that fentanyl laced drugs is like linked to almost half of the drug related fatalities that are out here. So it's really a big deal. People don't know what they're smoking or what they're snorting, or what they are taking, and it's really taking people out. So if you do partake in those kind of activities, I suggest you be careful. I suggest you know who you're purchasing this stuff from. I don't suggest you do it at all, but in the event that you do, definitely be as careful as you can. I know there was a comedian, I believe his name was Fuquan Johnson. I want to say, please forgive me if I said his name wrong, but he recently passed away. He and three other people, there were four total, but three of them passed away. And one lady, I think her name was Katie something. I don't know. I'm not familiar with any of them, unfortunately, but I understand that she is kind of like fighting for her life right now. And like ICU or something. So I'm definitely praying that she recovers. So sad to hear about the 3 other lives that were taken. They got together to party, and to partake in whatever they were doing, and 3 of them did not come out of there alive. So definitely prayers up to everybody that was involved in that situation. And y'all, yeah, we gotta do better. Now, next in wrap it up news, Mr. Nick Cannon. We know he has been a very, very busy man, both this year and last year, from things dealing with COVID to him having multiple babies, from him almost losing it all for making his, I guess, I don't even know if it was anti-Semitic, but he was definitely saying stuff about the Jews. They weren't having none of that, and they were literally about to cancel this man. It's one thing for us to try and cancel somebody, but when the bosses cancel you, you got a lot of apologizing to do. But he seems to be back on track in that aspect. But what he also seems to be doing is making a whole lot of kids. And according to Nick Cannon, he just says that if God willing, he's going to continue to have kids. He's not done. The father of 7 says that he will continue to make babies. Now, I don't know if he'll continue to do it with multiple women, but Nick Cannon said that he's not done popping them out. So good luck to him and everybody involved in that situation. I mean, how do y'all feel about it? Do you think that, I understand, he's a grown man. He can do what he wants to do. And I don't even know if it's necessarily being irresponsible. And I say that because it seems like every woman that is involved was a willing participant. She was perfectly fine with, bearing his child. So how irresponsible is it? But his money, his life. I just hope that no child feels slighted or neglected, because there are so many of them and they're not all in the same home. You can't possibly split, your time equally amongst all of these children and still work and do all this other stuff. So I just really hope that the children don't suffer just because he feels like he does need to be fruitful and go forth and multiply. But his penis, their vaginas, their business. And in messy divorce news, now, for those of you who don't know Jaylen Banks is Fallon Pina's new boo, baby daddy. Now, Fallon, for those of you who don't know, I think back in the spring, I want to say, Portia Williams, I think it was like right before Mother's Day, she set the internet on fire with her new boo, Simon. They announced their engagement. Well, Fallon was Simon's ex-wife, and she's now pregnant with Jaylen Banks' baby. But you would think that they would be able to go on and be happy, enjoy their lives together or whatnot. But they're alleging that Simon Guabadia, I know I'm tearing up his last name, but they're alleging that he's kind of on some stalker shit. Like, he is sending packages to their home. Now, they moved from Sandy Springs, Georgia to Duluth, and they don't know how he got their address, but he's sending packages. Like, he's sending, subliminals, like, through his social media. He is just like wilding out. And Jaylen says now it's really getting out of hand, because there'll be instances where the 2 of them will be at like a club together, and Simon immediately leaves, and then Simon also tries to get him put out of establishments, or tries to get them barred from, establishments. And we know Fallon is a socialite, and, I guess that's part of her making her living is by being on the scene. And he's trying to like cancel her or trying to get her, messed up or whatever. But I just think it's very messy. I just think that if he and Portia are happy, They need to go on and be happy over here. Let Fallon and Jaylen, I'm sorry, be happy over there with their pregnancy, their family that they're building over here. And, you know, he built his family over there. If y'all are done with each other and you are truly done and you're truly happy, then go ahead and be happy and just everybody just leave everybody alone and just let that be that. But Fallon did take to social media and she basically went off. I didn't, you know, take down exactly what she said, but basically she just kind of tired of the bull. She wants him to leave her alone. She has been quiet and cordial this whole time, but now it's starting to get on her nerves. And like she says, if you are really happy, then go be happy. Let me be happy. You know, I didn't cheat on you. We were not together for quite a while, you know, before the both of us moved on. So nobody is guilty in this situation. So just let that be that and, you know, get out my face. So that's basically paraphrasing what she said. So I didn't write it down, but I know that our boy, you know, Jaheim, he's in a little bit of legal trouble, a little bit of, you know, trouble. From what I read, I think authorities found like 12 to 15 like starving dogs at his house or something. And y'all know they don't play about dogs. You could have had 12 to 15 starving people there before you have 12 to 15 starving dogs. So it's not looking good for Mr. Jaheim. I think he will definitely have to pay for this. Some people say that he lost his mom, I want to say, and hadn't really been quite right since. And we've seen Jaheim in the news. We've seen him kind of looking a little weird, dressed a little abnormal than what we would normally dress. But there is definitely some mental issues going on with Mr. Jaheim. And I don't know what explanation he could have for having that many animals and not feeding that many animals. So we'll just have to keep our eyes open on and our ears, you know, open to what will happen to him next. And that's really all I got to say about that. Now, in playing the field news, earlier this week, we saw some pictures that surfaced from our boy Diddy. Now, Diddy, about a month ago, was rumored to be dating or at least seeing City Girls Young Miami. We saw pictures of them holding hands. We saw, you know, videos of her sitting on his lap, just things. So the two of them are intimate in some way, shape, or form. And they, you know, had the internet, you know, buzzing. You know, he's quite older than Young Miami. And we thought that, okay, well, maybe Young Miami done really came up. She done bagged Diddy. And we know Diddy, he doesn't have the best track record with women, but I guess he got a lot of money. So, and she raps about men with money. So I guess we thought that was a win for her. Well, recently, Mr. Diddy was spotted on his yacht with Joey Chavez or Chavez. I'm not sure if I'm saying her last name right, but for those of you who don't know her by her formal name, you do know her as Bow Wow's baby mama. Yes, Bow Wow's baby mama was seen smooching with Diddy on his yacht. You know, they were hugged up. He was laying, you know, on top of her. They were definitely romantically intertwined on this here yacht. Now, everybody immediately just started saying, well, what about Young Miami? I mean, the comments were just like endless. Everybody was like, I'm telling Carisha, you know, they tagging Young Miami in the post and everything. Just crazy. Nobody has formally spoken out about anything. As far as I'm concerned, Diddy is just an old ass man out here getting with these PYTs, and they are just, I guess, enjoying his company or money or whatever it is that he's providing them. And that's just that on that. I don't really see. It is like strange though, because Bow Wow did consider Diddy to be a brother, and he looked up to Diddy, or at least looked up to Diddy. And for him to kind of do this is kind of weird, but it's not surprising at the same time, because we know he tried to have involvement with Lori Harvey, who was at one point rumored to be dating one of his sons. So if he'd do that to his son, he don't give a damn about Bow Wow. So we already know Bow Wow didn't stand a chance. But neither Bow Wow has spoken out about this situation. Baby mama hadn't. Young Miami probably ain't gonna say nothing. She's still living her life. She's out in New York enjoying New York Fashion Week, and she is killing it out there. She is just too cute. But we'll see if something, comes of Mr. Diddy and Miss Jody. So in Miss Rona news, now we have continued prayers for civil rights activist Jesse Jackson and his wife Jacqueline Jackson. They were both diagnosed with COVID and hospitalized, and from what I understood, it was very bad. The two of them, they had a very, very hard time with this virus, but they have come out on the other side, but they're not in the clear just yet. Miss Jacqueline was recently released from the hospital, and so was Reverend Jesse Jackson, but he is like at a rehab facility trying to work on his physical therapy. And I know that older people don't bounce back from COVID as easily as younger people. My dad had a really, really bad battle with COVID. He was put on a ventilator twice. He also had to go through physical therapy when he was done, because he was laid up in the hospital so long. And, old people, if you don't use it, you lose it. So he almost basically had to learn to walk again, and he still doesn't have like all of his wind, like to this day. He still gets very easily winded walking short distances. And my dad was very, very athletic. He was very active, but being put down by a virus such as COVID can knock you out. And so prayers are, going forth for the both of them, and I hope that they recover. And I hope that they can get back to the lives that they lived prior to this. And then shut the hell up news. It's just something real quick. Your boy Dog the Bounty Hunter. Now we had heard, years ago about rumors and rumblings, and you can kind of look at him and you saw these rumors, you heard them about him being, racist. I believe it was his son at the time. I think his son had like a black baby mom, and you could hear him on the phone like going off about her, calling her the N-word. Now, he wasn't like saying like Nigga. He was saying it in terms of ER and the hard ER on it. And so when that was exposed, I guess he figured that was kind of like a dark spot in his career that kind of put, him in a really bad place. He started, his show started doing bad and everything else. His wife got sick and ended up passing away, but he went through like a real dark time from what he says. But in a recent interview, and I think it was with Entertainment Tonight, I'm not sure, he had a daughter who had come out and said, oh no, he ain't learned nothing. He's still racist. He still uses those connotations. He is still very much a racist. And so let him tell it. He is not saying it to be racist. He says he is 33.5% Apache, as if that means anything. But he said that he got a pass to use the N-word. And who gave him that pass? He said the Black tribe gave him that pass. I'm not sure what the Black tribe is. I don't know if I'm a member or not. I don't know how that works. I'm black, and I guess we had tried from what he said, but the black tribe gave him a pass, kind of like they gave Eminem one. We ain't give Eminem no pass neither. Eminem can't be walking around just shooting out the N-word either. So that's not a good excuse. And he said that the brothers gave him a pass. My brother didn't give him no pass to say that shit. Did y'all brother give him a pass to say it? Mine didn't. But you can look at a dog and you can tell the dog is, he got some racism with him. He might wear those feathers and wear the little string and shit in his head, appropriating them people's culture. But it is what it is. This is not new news. It's just something that just continues to resurface. I don't know why. I mean, we all knew that he was a racist, and I stopped watching his show the minute somebody said, he was out here dropping N-bombs. But that's about all I got. Not a whole lot happening. Like I said, it wasn't just, breaking news that happened, but these were just a few of the topics that I saw and I thought would be fun to talk about. And I guess for those of you that watch, I will be back later on tonight or tomorrow to talk about love/life after lockup. And like I said, before you leave, make sure you subscribe to this video, and y'all have a great rest of the weekend. It's Southern Heritage Classic weekend here in the Mississippi, Tennessee area. So we are very, very excited about that. Go TSU. And you guys have a great rest of the weekend. I will do it also, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.